Well, good morning and welcome to Integrative Preparedness. How are you all today? Grab yourself a cup of coffee from your Stonemont mug, or if you don't have one, get one. Well, today I want to talk about the 5 B's of preparedness. Now, many people will say 5 B's. What's 5 B's? I know the 3 B's: beans, band-aids, and bullets, right? But what about what's these 5 B's? This is especially, well, not just for new people, but maybe for people who haven't thought about this. And I think a lot of people in the preparedness world have not thought about at least one of these, and another one we don't talk about as much as we should. Now, for newer people, the 3 B's that's mostly accepted stands for beans, band-aids, and bullets. Okay, beans meaning having food. Okay, stored food and your ability to produce your own food. Because remember that the only purpose for your food stores is to be able to keep you alive until you can produce all the food you need. In the case of a major collapse, like in my books. But it also gets you through the times of, minor problems like the loss of a job, whatever. A storm, you're locked in by a snowstorm or whatever the case may be. But your ability to feed yourself, of course, to stay alive, and it includes water. But your ability to stay alive until you can produce everything you need, that's the purpose of your food stores. And, producing all the food you need is tough. I mean, it's most people don't do it. The vast majority of people don't do it. Even people with big farms and ranches, most of them don't do it because it really does mean growing and raising everything you need. I'm going to do a separate one on that somewhat later on, and I think it's going to be surprising to some people, and it's really going to be about how ranchers may be in a much better situation than farmers. I know that's going to get some farmers' backs up. Don't get your backs up about this. Too often, I want to insert something here. Too often, people get all upset if I say something that it anyway implies that their way may not be the best way. That's not what this should be about. If you're really interested in preparedness, see who's calling me. Nobody I know. If you're really interested in preparedness, you need to be able to have that open mind and that to consider that maybe things you haven't thought about need to be thought about. By the way, I should insert in here before I get ahead, and I meant to start with this. Those of you who are following the Audible reading of The Revival, the second book of the Stonemont series, it's over on the Patreon channel, and I just put up chapter 3 just a few minutes ago. So if you're following along, it's the second book. The whole first book, should I show? Now I'll show you later. The whole first book, The Reversion, is up there, and now Chapter 3 of The Revival is up there. So go, for those of you who are on Patreon, it's up there. The second one is Band-Aids. Okay, as some people will put them in different orders, it doesn't matter. Band-Aids means being able to take care of your own medical needs, your own boo-boos, take care for accidents, for illnesses. I also include in that cleaning. I put in, besides all the medical equipment that you kind of mass, make sure that you stock plenty of cleaning supplies, because, it so often things can be avoided just by keeping a clean environment, right? Somebody keeps calling me. Well, if it's important, I'll get back to them. The third, of course, is bullets, and that means firearms and ammunition, and that's just enabling you to protect and defend yourself and the things, your beans and your Band-Aids. But there are a couple of other things that people don't really talk about very much, and I want to add those because I think these, well, first off, they're every bit as important as the first three. One is more important. Well, it's I tell you what, you can, it's a part of it, okay, and that is the Bible. Okay, that's the fourth B, the Bible. It should be the first B, but since most people, already think about the three B's, I'm putting that in the rest of the list as we expand the list. The Bible. First off, the Bible is the greatest preparedness book that's ever been written, and if you don't know that, then read it. Okay, you will find things in there that speak to you concerning preparedness, and not just in Proverbs. Jesus' admonition to his disciples as he was, waiting to be arrested was, if you don't have a sword, sell your cloak and buy one. That was a direct instruction to be able to protect themselves against the dangers of the world. Okay, take your purse and your scrip. That means you have money. Okay, he says, when I have been here with you, did you lack for anything? They said, no, Lord, we didn't. He says, but I'm about to leave. I'm not going to be with you, and now you have to take care of yourselves. That was his direct his direct instruction to them, to be able to prepare, to be able to take care of themselves, to prepare to take care of themselves in this world. And there's too many people out there. I'll be honest, there's too many Christians out there. I'm a Christian, but there are too many Christians out there that will not accept the responsibility for their own preparedness, for their own protection. Okay, and they are misled. And so if you are among that group and say, well, I'm just waiting, God will take care of me. God gives you the ability to take care of yourself. Okay, so realize that. And all through the Bible, I mean, the entire book speaks to preparedness. Okay, so about not only that, but it enriches your spirit. Okay, your most important relationship is your relationship with God, with the Father through the Son. Okay, by power of the Holy Spirit. I won't turn this into a religious video, but that's it. Without that, because that's your eternal preparedness, okay? But now we're talking about our earthly preparedness, and even with that, if you ask his guidance, many of us are in preparedness because we have been called. We have felt a call to prepare. So as you prepare, if you haven't thought about this, if you've kind of just been on the physical level and not the spiritual level, ask for his guidance in your preparedness. It'll make all the difference. Now, the final one, and here's one that a lot of people don't like to talk about, and a lot of people will just argue with, and that's bucks. Money. It's strange that in the preparedness world, there are many people who seem to believe that the only real prepper is the one who essentially lives on the very least. Okay, that lives on almost nothing, that lives a very rudimentary lifestyle. Okay, it's important that you be able to, but it's not necessary that you do that and live that kind of lifestyle in order to be seriously prepared. As a matter of fact, it can hold you back from being seriously prepared. The importance of money cannot be underestimated when it comes to preparedness. Money allows you to live where you want to live in the best place you think you should, and that's going to be different for different people. It allows you to buy things. It allows you to buy all the preps. It allows you to buy, for instance, when people ask me how much food should I store, okay, I recommend 7 years. Now, the average person cannot go out there and today buy 7 years of food, right? I mean, if you're just starting out, you can't do it. But those who have money can. They could do it. Let me tell you a story. Now, I want to tell you a story as an example for just a moment before we get. And this is out of the realm of most people. Okay, but I want to tell you about a story about some friends of ours who started off as customers of ours with my lighting business. Excuse me while I take a sip. They're very good people. They're well off. They have worked hard. They have earned their money. They're very religious. They follow the Lord. And as we got to know each other, we saw how many things we had in common. And after reading my books, and they live in probably the perfect, when I tell people about the perfect location, in my opinion, where you should live for now and in, after a collapse, it's what I term the exurbs, close enough that an ambulance can get to you quickly, fire department can get to you quickly, but you're not, you don't have houses all around you. You're on some acreage, and you're at the very fringes before it becomes country. I consider that the perfect place to be. Well, that's where they live. But after reading my books and after us talking about preparedness quite a bit, you know what they did? They bought a farm. That's right. They just went out and bought a farm farther out, about 60 miles south of here. They bought a farm with a very nice house already on it, with outbuildings already on it. They are establishing gardens and orchards. They are putting the whole thing together. And because they're smart, they've actually turned that into a business, a money-making opportunity that generates more income for them until the day that they need it as, and if they need it, as a retreat. Now, these are smart people, okay? Just because they had a lot of money, and because I know a lot of people out there right now, and this is too bad. This is the kind of prepper bigotry that I've talked about in the last couple. Some will come on and say, well, those people don't know squat. They're just lazy. They don't know what real hard work is, and they wouldn't know what to do if this and that and the other thing. Yeah, they would. You don't know them, and you don't know what you're talking about. But if they live a very nice life because they've worked their butts off for it, but they were able to do that. Most people can't do that. And a matter of fact, they're not the only one that I know that went out and bought a farm. Most people can't do that. But that's an extreme, okay? That's an indication of what money can allow you to do. Now, back on the level of normalcy, okay, when most people, they can't do that. But the more money you have, meaning the more money you make, the more you're able to put into those things that are going to help you live well through crises or after a major collapse. Simple as that. You can learn 9 million ways to make a fire with 2 sticks if you'd like to, but that's not gonna serve you nearly as well as a dozen Bic lighters. Okay, so, and I know that stuff is fun, but when we're really talking about real preparedness, at the end of every one of my videos, I say we prepare well today in order to live well tomorrow. Why would you not want to live well today or tomorrow? Okay, but a lot of that has to do with how many resources you have. Okay, and one of the base resources is bucks, money. You've heard me say before, if you've been with me for a while, stack cash, so that when you run on a good deal, you're able to do something with it. Tom Usher has put a couple of great pieces over on the Patreon site, and he talks about this quite a bit. He has land down in Missouri. We have some exceptional people on Patreon. If you're with us there, make sure that you do check the member posts area and read not just Tom's stuff. We go Hondo's stuff, Triple G's stuff, Mike Hoskins' stuff. A lot of people contribute over there that you'll learn a lot from. But Tom has addressed this a couple of times, and the importance of having money in order to build your preparedness. Okay. Now, a lot of people will think that those of us who have, well, I don't want to say this wrong. Let me just say this, that many of us started our preparedness journey without much. We weren't rich. We didn't have a lot. You build through the years. Okay, you build and you build and as you start to focus on and understand the importance of preparedness, and then start focusing on that, you start investing your money instead of spending it. And what I mean by that, spending it is you spend it, the money is there, and then it's gone, and you really have nothing to show for it. Whatever, entertainment, restaurants, things like that. Nothing wrong with that. If you've got disposable income, good for you. Go out and enjoy yourself. But investment is when you exchange money for things that then increase in value through time or increase your stability, your safety, your security. And that's what preparedness is all about. And that's what money allows you to do. So here again, if you are one of those who has kind of looked down on people, well, you don't need money, you need to be able to live in the woods with a pocket knife and a piece of twine. Okay, well, that's not, come on. I mean, hopefully we as Homo sapiens have evolved throughout the years. That's why we live in houses, right? And that's why we live in houses instead of shacks. Or caves or something like that, is that there is nothing wrong with continually improving your position. As a matter of fact, that's what preparedness actually is. It's improving your position. It's improving your ability to have a good position regardless of what happens. So think about that. Having money, and here again, going back to Jesus' instructions to his disciples, if you have a purse and a scrip, meaning money, take it with you. You're going to need it. It helps you function in the world today. And you're going to, if you're new to preparedness, you'll occasionally hear people say, not too often on this channel, but you'll hear it on other channels, and occasionally hear somebody say, your money's not going to be worth anything. Your fiat money is not going to be worth anything when, and you want, blah, 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 blah. Oh, your money's worth plenty now. And the more you have, the more it's worth, right? Okay, that's just common sense. So anyway, what I wanted to say here is, and I think there are a lot of people, even not beginners, but kind of in the mid-level of preppers, who haven't really thought about money that much. They're more concerned about, how do I live, with the very least. And again, like I say, you should be able to live with the very least, but how much easier is it to live when you have a lot of resources? And there's nothing wrong with that. As a matter of fact, it's what you should strive for. And here again, somebody's typing there, I'm not going to make it all about money. Neither am I, buddy. It's about God. It's about family. It's about friends. It's about community. And you know what allows me and others? You know what allows people? Let me put it that way. You know what allows people to be more secure? The things they have been able to get. I've tried getting it with a smile. Nobody will accept my smile in exchange for something, okay? They want money. So the things you're able to get toward that purpose with money. That's it. And that allows you not just to become more secure in yourself, but it allows you to help people. if you've read my books, this might be a time to slide this in. This is brought to you by the Stonemont series, my series of books. That's a complete guide on how to prepare for, how to survive, and how to live well and rebuild after a complete collapse of everything. And in this is a story of a family. It's a story of a family who was prepared. They weren't well-to-do, but they had invested wisely. They had made money through hard work, and they had been able to establish a place that secured them when everything fell apart. But not just that. They were able, as a result of their preparedness, to help other people. And it's like the old saying, I never got a job from a poor person, right? I know people love to rag on rich people, but I never got a job from a poor person. And I've heard a lot of people that didn't have much talk great games about, well, I want to help people and I want to help this and that. You know what? They're not able to. Yeah, you can help them with a pat on the back and hey, I'll pray for you and stuff like that. But nothing beats your ability to help people as a result of what you've invested in, accumulated yourself. That's the story of this. These are available. I will always get, for those of you who are new, I'm a writer. I write. That's what I do for a living. I don't do YouTube for a living. That's why I don't have a big channel. I don't really get into it and think, how can I build my channel? I just want to talk to people who actually want to learn about preparedness. It's the only reason that I started the channel, was to talk about the lessons in my books. And I'll always get somebody come on and say, you just want to sell your books. And that's right, I do. That's why I wrote them. I know, I'm a capitalist. But the reason that I wrote them was because they carry the lessons and a good story. The lessons about really how to prepare so that you will live tomorrow. Those are there. You can get them through Amazon. The link's down below, or you can get them. The best way is to get them directly from me through our website, stonemont.us. And the books are all on there, and mugs and stuff, things like that. So if you're interested in that, I think you'd like them. A lot of people do. People have been learning from them, like I say, since 2017. We've got people who have said they've read through the whole series 5 or 6 times, still learning stuff. But that's what it's about. Those people were able, in the story in the book, they were able to not only survive and live well after a total collapse of everything, but help others. And then start rebuilding community and helping still more. That's really what it's all about. And it's easier to do that. It's a lot easier to help others when you have resources than when you don't. Right? Okay. So remember, there are 5 B's in my judgment to preparedness. And in addition to the beans, Band-Aids, and bullets, I would put the first one, I'd put one ahead of that, and that's the Bible. And then I'd put one at the end, although it should probably be, second, because it enables the other 3. And that's bucks. Bible, bucks, beans, Band-Aids, and bullets. Try to go out there and get some beans, some Band-Aids, and bullets without bucks, and you'll be sorely disappointed. Okay, so include those other 2 B's in your master plan and your master preparedness plan, and you'll do well. Remember, we prepare well today in order to live well tomorrow, and you're going to live exactly tomorrow however you have prepared to live. The more you have prepared, the better you're off you're going to be. You're never going to regret having prepared. But if things happen and you haven't, there's going to be time to regret, right? Okay. You all have a good day. Get out there and do something to prepare, and think about these 5 B's. Use them as your master plan, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.